just want me to give the game plan away. I mean, listen, this is very explosive, high energy player. Great football player, great quarterback. And one of the things he's doing, this year, I think, which was a point of emphasis for them, obviously throwing the ball a little bit more from the pocket, and he's done a nice job for that. And it takes all 11 on defense. You just can't. You can't let your guard down with him, obviously, not only in the run game but the pass game as well. When you get an opportunity to tackle him, you got to tackle him, because he can definitely burn you with his speed. So, you try to slow him down, obviously, try to minimize some of the explosiveness, but at the same time, with his ability to throw the ball, it makes it a challenge.
Injury update, especially along that offensive line with Walker and Ezra, and kind of fluctuation around the rest.
Yeah, both guys are doing well. Kind of a day-to-day right now. We'll get them in some of these walkthroughs that we're going to do, in the morning and see how they respond to the afternoon practice. But both are trending in the right way.
Do you think they'll both practice today? Or?
I believe so, yes. I think so.
With some of the miscommunications that have popped up over the past couple of weeks, do you do anything different in the practice this week to try and, I guess, make sure those don't show up on the game field?
I mean, I challenge the coaching staff, really to listen in practice, right? Listen to the communication. Make sure that the guys are communicating, and that it carries from today, tomorrow. Obviously, carries through the game, but we keep communicating with our players to communicate during the game, we know that's been a big reason why, we've had some breakdowns, in our game the last couple of weeks.
What about Tyson Campbell this week? How does he look?
He's, again, day to day. We'll see, how he progresses, really.
Same thing with Cisco, DeBroin.
Yeah, Cisco the same. Just those are tough injuries, so we'll see how he is too after today.
Will Trevor be full today? Practice full today?
Should be, yes, should be. Shouldn't have to limit him today.
And Trey Hendrickson?
Trey Herndon is trending good. He'll be out there. Orange jersey, still in the protocol, hasn't been cleared, but part of the process is to get him in practice, and today we can get him going.
Have you been surprised by the lack of focus over the last couple of weeks by the defense? And it's 14 weeks in. Just it seemed like they were focused the first 10 games or however many.
Yeah, I mean. It's interesting because lack of focus. I just think sometimes it kind of. I know one thing. At this level, at this game, where we are this late, we've played a lot of football, obviously, and those things just can't happen, obviously, and it really just does come down to those guys just talking. Right, just having conversation on the field, and just staying locked into the game plan, right, and just one play at a time mentality, and they don't have to do anything other than that. Just trust that, and trust their instincts and how they've been coached this week to execute that game plan, and they'll be fine.
How hopeful are you that this being the second game, that Zay Jones and Calvin Ridley are without Christian, that things will be better this week, and that the little details that end up being big in the end will be diminished this week?
That's going to be a point of emphasis offensively, is the route detail and that discipline aspect of it. I tell the guys all the time, you don't have to go chasing plays. Just do your job and let the play or the ball come to you, and then make the play when it comes. So, much like the issues on defense, it just comes down to that. It just do your job. Let the coaches coach, let the players play, have great dialogue throughout the week. Work through these issues now during practice so that they don't show up and repeatedly don't show up in games. But that'll be a focus this week for us offensively is that attention to detail in the passing game.
How frustrating is it when you turn on the tape and you watch the two plays, specifically the interception where Calvin doesn't turn around, and then again at the goal line where Trevor's expecting him to go in and he goes out, and of course the ball almost gets picked up. How frustrating is it to see that, and it's December, not week 1 or week 2?
Well, yeah, I mean, those are plays that they were huge plays in the game. It took one of them took points off the board. Obviously, the other one was a big point of the game. From a blitz standpoint, we saw it, we protected it, got to the right play, and we failed to execute. Yeah, so those are the things. Those are the things that we have to continue to iron out during the week, right? There's a lot of things nowadays too, or this late in the season, where we might talk about them in meetings, and sometimes you don't get that live rep during the week because there's just not enough practice reps right now to go around, because you're trying to keep guys healthy and fresh for game day. And so we'll have conversation and dialogue in a meeting, but as coaches and players, we expect those things to happen during the game, right? Even though you don't get that rep during the week of practice, but we've covered it, right? So those are the things that I think have kind of kept us back just a little bit, and those are the things that we've got to continue to work towards. And it's all internal stuff. It's all us, right? It's what we see. It's how we execute. It's how we play. And we got to make sure we do a better job of that.
Is that one of the problems when you have a young team?
It is, but we're not young, really. I don't. Everybody's played. Rookies are no longer rookies. This is week 15. I can't hide behind that anymore. Can't use that as an excuse anymore. Every team's in week 15. There's no more buys. Every rookie's played. I mean, it's just everybody has to focus that much greater, right? This time of year and be on the same page.
Doug, you've talked about guys need to be doing extra and studying on their own and doing whatever extra things they need to do. Are you pleased with the amount that guys are doing that now? Has that tailed off, or do you not?
Well, I don't follow everybody home in the afternoons.
You kind of tell though if guys aren't right.
Yeah, you can listen and hear and see what guys are doing and see what guys are doing in the building. And when they're here, obviously their attention to detail and all that. Listen, there's life outside of this building too, and families and all kinds of things that are going on, and but at the same time, this is obviously our jobs, right? And our responsibility, no different than you're doing your job, right? And I'm sure you take your work home and you study and read and prepare and all, and that's all I ask them to do is just spend 30 minutes, spend 45 minutes just watching a little extra film, and you can tell the guys that do it, right? And then I just ask them just to collectively too, just spend the extra 30 minutes just watching a little more film on their opponent. Again, it's more about getting mental reps this late in the season than it is the physical reps, and keeping bodies and minds as fresh as possible.
Where's your confidence level in the ability to correct these mistakes this late in the year?
My confidence level is fine. I trust the coaching staff. Like I said, it starts there, and I trust the coaches to make sure that they're, making sure our guys are prepared, turning over every stone, and taking it from the practice field into the post-practice meetings, and then picking up the next day, kind of where they left off. So confidence is still high. I mean, it's our job. Our jobs are to make sure that they're prepared mentally, and my job is also to make sure they're ready to go physically, as well. So a little bit of a trade-off, but a lot of confidence in the staff and the players to get it done.
On those lines, Doug, about mentally, do you like where your team is in terms of mental toughness? Riding a season out, wins, losses. You see the Titans go and win in Miami, and the Bears beat Detroit. It's crazy. So, do you like where your team is from a mental standpoint, approaching a big primetime game?
I do. A lot of confidence downstairs. The guys are excited for this week. It's a two good football teams coming together, two top 4 right now in the AFC, playing, and obviously it's great for the NFL, great for fans, and these are the games. Again, it goes back to what I expect our players to get used to, right? Playing in moments like this and games like this. Baltimore obviously has, but the confidence is high, and the confidence is great. Again, it just we have to turn it internally and just focus on us and make sure we are doing everything that we can in our power to be prepared for these games. But the confidence is there.
Doug, I ask you this every week, but the struggles in the interior of the offensive line when it comes to running the football, have you been able to identify why it has been a struggle at times running between the tackles?
Well, one, we're playing, some good defensive lines. This season there hasn't been a shortage of, defensive fronts. It's every week is another challenge. We got another one again this week, and it's a matter of just the extra strain, the extra effort. Again, those 5 guys having great communication. We've talked a little bit about the distraction on the left side of our line, with the injuries there. And these guys work extremely hard at it. We can do better, obviously. There, we can help them too. Game plan, wise, we can make sure we're running our best plays, our best concepts, that have been successful for us, and putting our players in especially the offensive line in those positions to be successful. And then coaching the backs too, right? We got to make sure we're coaching them, we're detailing those guys, they're hitting the right hole or the gap, seeing the right things. Also, plays into that. So it's a little bit of everything, but I think getting back to what we do well will help us do that.
Doug, you guys had your red zone struggles early in the year, but you've gotten a lot better lately. In fact, I think perfect the last 2 weeks, maybe bright spots. Any thing you can put your finger on in terms of why you guys have gotten so much better scoring touchdowns in the red zone?
The execution's gotten better. When you have, we were 4 for 4, I think, this past Sunday. Getting opportunities down there has been good for us. But that's the thing about the course of a season. You're not going to start out great, and you're just going to keep building, and certain areas are going to get better. I think some of our third downs have gotten better, even the last few weeks. And it's just a matter of all those things beginning to come together at the right time. We just have to put more of them together, right? The run game is one of them. Obviously, we know getting after the passers and all that stuff needs to come together now, with this last month.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks, Jack.
Thanks, Coach.